Hello everybody, welcome back to the podcast of the InnCoCells Consortium. And today we are joined by Amandine Goubert, who is from Cosmetic Valley. Amandine, thank you very much for joining us. Very nice to see you. Most of these podcasts, I interview people in the scientific work packages who are conducting experiments in the laboratory. And today, maybe a bit of a different flavour because this is not your role. I wonder if you'd be able to explain to our listeners what it is you do and what your role is in the InnCoCells project.
Yeah, good evening. This project, my role is a little bit different than the others. In fact, Cosmetic Valley is an association of cosmetic industry which work on this field. And we help the consortiums to better understand the expectation of this industry and also to make dissemination and communication through this industry about the results of the project.
So how many industry members are there that your organisation is involved with?
More than 600 companies.
Wow, so that's actually, for a small research project, having access to 600 companies is a huge bonus. It really is a good way to get the word out about what the project is doing.
Yeah. We have access to all these companies in France, but we also build an international cluster with other associations like Cosmetic Valley, because our sector is the France. In fact, we are a national association, but we have many connections with other national associations like us. And we help them to build their own cluster in their country. And now in Europe, it's about 30 associations like us.
Well, so that really amplifies the message. That's really good. So what is exactly what you do in your organisation? What's your main role?
So my role is the research and innovation manager, in fact. Yeah. So it means that I help to build connection between research laboratories, and the cosmetic companies we support is a company which work about development of finished product, but also which works on development of raw material, of new tests for this raw material or this finished product. So from 7 type of project we support on all these topics. Yeah, so my role is to make connections, to understand the expectations, the difficulties in research and development, and to find experts, scientific experts, to develop new collaboration and new kind of project services process for cosmetic.
Okay, so how did you get to find out about the InnCoCells project and become involved? Were you like headhunted, or did you seek out new projects involved in cosmetics, or were the project organisers trying to find someone to help with the industry dissemination activities?
We heard about the project and the building of this project because we have many connections with companies all over the world in Europe, and also with laboratories. We knew before VTT, for example.
So you had contacts with VTT before?
Yeah. We had contacts with them. And it's really important for us, this project. As you know, maybe, it's the first European project which work on research about cosmetic products. Only on cosmetic products. We have other kind of European project which work on new ingredients for food, for example, and for cosmetic as well. But this project InnCoCells is really only on raw material for cosmetic, and it's the first one supported by the European Commission.
So would you say this is a new direction for CosVal, or would you say that it's just more focused than what you normally do?
It's not a new direction, but it's an increasing direction, in fact, because it's not new for us to have a connection with other countries which work about cosmetic. But what it's new since last year, in fact, we have a specific desk in Brussels, and we have many connections with European Commission, and we have just beginning a project called Act for Cosmetic. It's a project exactly only on cosmetic to build different kind of European workshop, to develop new collaboration on research on cosmetic in different kind of topic, naturality, but also digital development for cosmetic application.
Right, so this is very interesting because it leads on to something I've been wondering about since the beginning of this podcast, which is if you could maybe explain in practical terms, how do you assist the project to increase its dissemination, its reach? What would you do on a day-to-day basis to facilitate that process?
We make communication in the specific articles, professional articles, magazines to make communication, but we also support huge communication on the event Cosmetic 360 we organize in October. It's an event really about innovation in the cosmetic sector, not to present new kind of product, innovative product, finished product, but it's an event, a B2B event. And the aim is company which develop products can find in this event all the most innovative solutions.
So it's like a matchmaking event for projects which are developing things and companies that might want to utilize them.
Yeah, it's an exhibition. So to exhibit, you need to propose something new, a new product, a new service, a new process. But the visitors of this event are scientific director of a company. And on this event, you speak about science for cosmetic. And you speak about new development, new partnership you can have to develop a project, new research and development project.
So what's the sort of mix of numbers? How many people show off their new products or processes versus how many people come to look at them and take the ideas?
Yeah, we have about 250 exhibitors during 2 days in October. And we have about 5,000 visitors. And the visitors are not only from France as the exhibitors. The exhibitors can be from Europe, from Japan, from Korea, from United States. We have a different group of exhibitors. And we have also different kind of visitors, not only French visitors.
So potentially you could expose the InnCoCells project to 5,000 or more different companies and innovators at each exhibition. And they would in turn probably spread the word even further, so we could really put the message out and have an amazing reach because of this venue.
A good way to communicate and to disseminate the project. Yeah.
Will the project have a reciprocal effect on Cosmetic Valley? I mean, what you've talked about so far is how Cosmetic Valley will help the project to become more widely known. Does the interaction with the project have an effect on Cosmetic Valley as well, and in your role as well?
Yeah, sure. Because our job is really to make new connections. And thanks to this project, we know a new partner in Europe, of course, and we can do other connections between this partner and other members of Cosmetic Valley to build maybe a new project, because our aim is really to show that in cosmetic field we need to make research. We need to know more about science in raw material, in ingredients, in tests, biological tests, etc. And to show that we need science, we need to show more and more projects on this field.
Essentially, in a way, you've got your finger on the pulse of the industry. You know what they want. You meet enough people from the industry to have an idea about where the project should be going. Yeah. So in a sense, you're almost providing some kind of commercially led guidance for which ingredients we should be focusing on in the InnCoCells project, and based on the fact that they'll be more or less likely to be taken up by the industry members that you interact with.
For each ingredient, I don't know, I'm not sure, but we know the global expectation of the market, of the industry. And some topic as really important, sustainability, and that's the subject here for in this project. And we know really the expectation of the industry because we also have a person in the Cosmetic Valley. We have a person which do some studies about the market, about the expectation, etc. So we have many information.
So you've got not just what the industry are looking for, but also from that research, some kind of insight into what consumers want as well.
Yeah, we are not connected with consumers in our job in Cosmetic Valley. Now it will be maybe different later in a few years, because we are developing like a museum pathway for explaining what is the cosmetic industry to the consumers, because consumers don't know really what is this industry, how we develop a product, how we produce a product. They use the product, then can see advertising for the product, but they don't really know how it works. And we would like to have a specific communication and boost our communication on customers. But now it's not the time for that. It will be in a few years.
Do you think consumers, are they more interested in seeing the effect and not really caring how the effect is achieved, or is there a genuine interest in how, not necessarily at the molecular level, but how a skin product may make skin less wrinkly? Are they interested in just seeing that as an outcome, or do they really want to know how it works and what's involved?
I think consumers want to know now the results, want to see the results on the product they used. But they want more and more to know how it works. Each consumer want to understand better how it works, why he should choose this one or the other one, and more and more. He wants more and more to know how it works, and it's difficult to explain this kind of mechanisms to the consumers. So we need to link discussions between research and development department and the marketing department in the company to give the good information to the consumers.
I suppose it comes down to, you want to be able to see the message about what the product can do in a very small lump of text, like the sort of text you could fit on the front of a bottle. Yeah. Rather than reading an essay about it or having to learn a degree in biology in order to find out what's going on. So that's, like you say, the magic of communication is being able to give that message across in straightforward language that anyone can really understand when they pick up a bottle and understand why this product is best.
I think there is maybe two levels of information. The first level, when you buy something, you need to have a quick information, and after, when you have the product, you can have other information to know better how it works, but it should be explained as everybody can understand it.
On that subject, if you could pick one thing you'd like to see the InnCoCells project achieve, we've got many goals, interlinked goals, but if you could pick one thing you'd really like to see us succeed at, what would that be?
I think it's really important to organize the production and the value chain to obtain a new ingredients. In this project, many kind of ingredients, many kind of plants are studied, but when we will choose, or partner will choose this kind of ingredients or the other one, they need to select with the information of the structuration of the value chain. How do they obtain product? How do they obtain the raw materials? And they need to really organize how they can obtain this kind of raw material.
Excellent. Well, that's really interesting. Well, thank you, Amandine. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you. It's really nice, actually, to be able to get a different perspective on the project, and spend a lot of time dealing with the scientists, and it's always interesting to know what they've been doing and how their research is going to change the field, but having a slightly different perspective on it it's nice to have that in the mix. I just want to say to our listeners, we are still here in Luxembourg, beautiful sunny day. It's the end of the second day of our project meeting. And I've had a thoroughly lovely time since I've been here. Amandine, I guess, have you enjoyed the surroundings in Luxembourg?
I enjoyed, and I enjoyed always to meet and to discuss with all the partners. Yes, the city is really nice, and it was a good place to make a connection between partners, to have discussions on other kind of subjects. I think it's really interesting and important to see each other here in this place, a beautiful place, in another one, because we really have other connections to build together.
Yes, I agree. I mean, one of the best things about meeting up personally, face to face like this, is that we get to know each other, and it will bode well, because I really hope once this project is complete, we're now halfway through, that we can go on and do other things, because it's a very effective team. We seem to work well together, and we've got some very good results so far.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, look, Amandine, it's been absolutely a pleasure to speak with you today. It's a great podcast. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to our listeners for tuning in, and we'll see you again in the next edition from the InnCoCells podcast. Thank you very much, and goodbye.